Hi there, Amy. Welcome back to Storyteller Cafe. When you were here last, we were performing Murder in the Tulips. Do you want to pick back up where we left off?
Yes, please.
That's right. Amy will be staying here. After all, we still need a gardener.
Reginald, you can't be serious. Now that Mother is dead, we need to sell the house. We should have sold it a long time ago, but now there's no question.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We should wait until Mother's attorney reads her will. Something tells me we may be in for a surprise.
A surprise? Surely Mother left the estate to the both of us.
We'll find out soon enough.
Oh, hello everyone. Reginald. Melanie. I'm very sorry about your mother.
Hello, Dominic. Thank you. It's been a terrible shock.
Yes. We appreciate your condolences. Amy, have you met Dominic?
I don't think so.
Then allow me to introduce you. Dominic is the foreman for Mother's new construction project.
Oh,
Dominic, this is Amy. The new gardener? Amy, say hello.
hello there, Dominic. Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you, Amy. I'm sorry you had to be the one to find Mrs. McGuire. How are you holding up?
I think I'm doing okay. The roast beef helped.
Well, you seem very brave.
Dominic, how is the work progressing?
Reginald, are you seriously interested in that right now? After all that's happened?
Well, we're paying good money for the new addition. I think we have every right to stay informed about the progress.
Actually, your mother hasn't been paying my invoices. I've been trying to collect for over 2 months. I'm afraid if I don't get paid by tomorrow, I'll have to stop work.
Now let's not be hasty. I'm sure it was an oversight. Mother was stingy. But she always paid her bills, eventually.
Eventually isn't going to work. I need the money by tomorrow. Amy, what sort of wage did Mrs. McGuire offer you as gardener?
It was actually $35 an hour, which was good.
Well, take my advice. I'd go find another job. Getting money out of the McGuires is like squeezing blood from a turnip.
Dominic, please. That's very crass, considering what's just happened.
That's true.
Oh, right. Sorry.
This little gathering has been very pleasant, but I'm afraid I must be off. Amy, please make yourself at home. I'll see you again in the morning. We're both scheduled to spend some time with Detective Sims. Get your rest. You'll need to be on top of your game. Good night.
My brother can be so frustrating. Amy, I see that he's promised you a room at our estate, and apparently a job. But I think it's best if you find another place to stay starting tomorrow. Dominic, will you see me out?
It would be my pleasure. Amy, it was nice meeting you. And again, I'm sorry you were the one to find Mrs. McGuire. But hey, somebody had to be the one. I hope the judge won't be too harsh on you. Good luck when you
I
go
didn't
talk to
do it.
Detective Sims. Take care.
Okay, Amy, you've just finished episode 2 of Murder in the Tulips. It's time for another question about the story. After episode 1, you didn't think your character was the one who committed the murder. Now I'll tell you if you were correct. Congratulations, you were right.
I knew it.
You're not the one who murdered Mrs. McGuire.
It's not me.
Now it's time for the next question. I know you don't have much information to go on yet, but you'll need to use what you know to make a decision. So here's the question. Was Reginald the one who murdered Mrs. McGuire? Yes or no?
I don't think Reggie did it. No.
So you think he's innocent?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've made a note of your answer. We'll find out if you were correct soon. I hope you can stick around for the next episode.
You've reached the end of the episode. Amy, would you like to hear the next episode now?
Yes.
Hi, Amy. You've reached the third episode of Murder in the Tulips. There's one more episode after this. We know now that you're innocent. You're not responsible for the death of Mrs. McGuire. At the end of the last episode, you said you thought Reginald, Mrs. McGuire's son, was innocent too. You also met Melanie, Reginald's sister, and Dominic, the foreman working on a new addition to the estate. Perhaps one of them is the killer. Or maybe Reginald has you fooled. Now you're about to be interrogated by Detective Sims. She'll ask lots of questions, so try to be on your toes. Good luck.
All right, Amy. Thank you for being cooperative. I'm glad you didn't try to leave town. I'm afraid we don't have new suspects for Mrs. McGuire's murder. You seem to be the only one in the vicinity when the murder took place. I need you to seriously consider what I'm about to say. Will you do that?
I'll consider it.
It's for your own good. If you committed the murder, it'll be much better if you just come clean. If you admit your guilt, the judge will go a lot easier on you. So tell me, did you kill Mrs. McGuire?
No, I did not.
Okay. If that's the truth, I need your help in solving this crime. You spent the night at the McGuire mansion. I'm assuming you had a chance to talk to Reginald, Mrs. McGuire's son. He seems like a strange character. What's your impression of him?
I think he's kind of spoiled and full of himself, but I don't think he did it.
I see. There's something about Reginald that makes me suspicious. On the other hand, his alibi checked out. He was at the yacht club yesterday, but I don't think that rules him out as a suspect. Did you have a chance to meet his sister, Melanie?
Yes, I did.
I don't know much about her. Did she seem upset about the murder?
Yes, very much so.
Maybe she was closer to her mother than Reginald. But I heard that Melanie had a disagreement with her mother about something. Maybe you happened to hear what the disagreement was about. What can you tell me about their disagreement?
It had something to do with the new addition that her mother wanted to put on the house. I don't think she wanted it.
Interesting. I've seen the new addition they're building onto the mansion. I agree it seems a little overkill, considering how big the place is. It sounds like Melanie didn't want the addition, but that hardly seems like a reason to commit murder. Amy, did you meet anyone else last night?
Yes, the foreman, Dominic. Foreman.
Let me write this down. The foreman.
Mm-hmm.
What did you say his name was?
I think it was Dominic.
Dominic. Got it. I'm just wondering. Do you have any idea why he came to talk to Reginald and Melanie?
He said that he was not getting paid for the work they were doing.
Oh, so Mrs. McGuire wasn't paying his bill.
Correct.
That sounds like par for the course, based on her reputation. Well, if Mrs. McGuire owed Dominic money, I suppose that might rule him out as the killer. After all, it's hard to get paid when your employer is deceased. So I guess I'm back at square one. Amy, let me just ask you point blank. Who do you think had the most compelling motive for murdering Mrs. McGuire?
I'm thinking maybe Melanie.
Well, I want to thank you for sharing your thoughts. This has been very helpful. It's good you're staying at the McGuire mansion. You can continue to observe the suspects. And Amy, don't leave town. You're not off the hook yet. Not until we find the true killer.
Okay, Amy, you just finished episode 3 of Murder in the Tulips. You really got grilled by Detective Sims, but she
did.
also gave you some new things to consider. So now it's time for your next question. We know you're innocent. And previously,
goodness.
you didn't suspect Reginald of being the killer. So
Correct.
here's the question. Do you think Melanie, Mrs. McGuire's daughter, is responsible for the murder?
Yes, I think she is.
You think she is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've made a note of your answer. There's just one more
Something about
episode
her
to
I don't
go,
trust.
and then everything will become clear. I hope you can hang around for the grand finale.
You've reached the end of the episode. Amy, would you like to hear the next episode now?
Not right now.
Thanks for visiting Storyteller Cafe. Come back soon.